Hi, I'm Aniket, and I'm a PhD scholar at the School of Habitat Studies in Tata Institute of Social Sciences. So this particular video is regarding the assignment, the second assignment that I have given as a part of the STA 245 course at Ahmedabad University, which is on spatial methods using R. Some of you were facing a problem on how to be able to filter an SFC object or filter data or filter features from an SFC object so that they can be viewed in the ggplot. And there is a small conceptual hurdle that a lot of you have been facing, and this video is an attempt to actually help you overcome that hurdle. Okay, so we'll just quickly briefly look at the assignment problem once more, um, or at least a part of that assignment problem. The thing is that you are asked to digitize a couple of features, and we saw how to make simple feature column objects, or what is known as SFC. Um, in the previous video, the link to that video I'll be putting in the comments of this particular video, and also in the description. So SFC essentially, we defined geometry, okay, which is either a point, line, or a polygon, okay. But SFC simple features column only defines a geometry. So we know that the what corresponds to an entire shape file actually is your geometry as well as your attribute. And your attributes is nothing but the information uh, that is actually that contains numbers, or it contains a character, strings, um, a name, population, for example, any attribute that is related to that particular feature, and that has got the characteristic of a data frame in R. So what you essentially need to do in order to query, you need to have all the features collated into one variable in one object, and you need to basically convert SFC, or your simple features column, into a full-fledged simple features object. And a full-fledged simple features object corresponds to what we have in GIS as an ESRI shapefile. So one interesting feature of the simple features is that you can create these shape files, and we'll see in a bit how to do that. So we'll just very quickly revisit uh, our problem, and or at least a part of the problem. So what we had to do is that you were given a where you live, you have certain roads. So you are asked to basically digitize a couple of those roads, okay, as well as hospitals or medical facilities. These could be primary healthcare centers or district hospitals, whatever they are, and then create a reference point, okay, which I have asked you to consider as your home. So your home would be the reference point, and then create a buffer, okay, of 500 meters around this reference point, okay, and use that buffer to filter out these features. And that is, I mean, we saw how to filter uh, uh, features from a shapefile, but the point is that we have talked about digitizing a simple features column, but not we've not talked about how to create it into a full-fledged shapefile, because you'll require the SF object. You'll have to put a query against the SF object to be able to filter out the features that we want. And what we use to do this is we use geometric binary predicates. Okay, and these are nothing but functions like intersect, etc. Contains, and many many more. So if you actually go in your R and in your console and you say help st underscore intersects. So there are many such geometrical binary predicates that throw a query and return a result based on the value, which is a binary value, true or false. Okay, so there are many over here, st underscore touches, etc. And these are very useful for topology, for generating topologies. So so we use st underscore intersects to achieve our goal. So what I'll do is, very quickly, what I've done is that I have created a script over here. I won't be typing because typing will just make the video very long. And what I've done is I've commented out a major portion of the script, and as we go through our various, I mean, as we go through the workflow, I'll keep uncommenting each line. Okay, so first what we are doing is, as discussed before, you need to collect the points, okay, which you have for each road. So you've got 4 roads. Okay, so in my case, I live uh, where I live. I just took these 4 major roads. Okay, I haven't taken any of the smaller roads. And what I did is I collected the lat long, okay, as vectors. And then obviously when I made the list, I inverted it. So your x becomes, your x is the latitude, and your y is, sorry, your x is the longitude and your y is the latitude, as discussed before. And we've created a vector um, of road name. So this will be the attribute part of it. Okay, so this will fill up the attribute of the intended SF object. Okay, so what we'll do is we'll just run this very quickly. Okay, so this part got run. Now what we have is, we have your road 1, 2, 3, 4 as lists, and we have the road names as a simple vector. Okay, so it's an atomic vector. So what we need to do now is that we need to basically we need to create these lists into a multi-string, okay, or a multi-line string. Forgive me for making that omission. So I'll just comment out the part of the code that does that, okay, which is right here. So this I don't actually require. So what I do is I save it in a, so I'll just comment out this part. Okay, so what you do is you use the st underscore sfc function, and within that you basically take these lists. Okay, so it's st underscore multi-string road 1, st underscore multi-string road 2, road 3, and road 4. So I combine these together, and if I only run this part, sorry, okay, what it does is that it makes a geometry of 4 features, a geometry set of 4 features. Okay, first feature, second feature, third feature, fourth feature. Okay, well, what it does not do is it does not give it a CRS, because we've not given it a CRS. We'll do that part later. Okay, so first we'll just do this part, and we'll save it in a variable. I won't call it a shapefile, I'll just call it road geometry, because it is still an SFC object, remember that. Okay. So it did that. And now I just want to, okay. So now what I do is, so you create the SFC object. Now, if you remember, all the shape files are also data frames. So if you actually say is.data frame, and we'll just see that in a moment, uh, you will it will return a value of true for the shape file. So because obviously it has got attribute information which is stored as a data frame. So what you need to do is you need to C bind it, okay, with, so you need to bind the geometry to the attribute. So geometry portion is defined by this, and the attribute portion is defined by this. And you need to basically force a data frame. So you need to, so I'll uncomment the next part. So this is nothing but you bind the geometry to the attribute, okay. And I named two columns. So first column is road name is equal to road names, and the second column is geometry is equal to this I changed the name there, so I'll call it road underscore geometry. Okay. So this is my shape file, okay, but it's not done yet. It's still a data frame. So if I look at this str road underscore shape file, it's a data frame, and it's got this attribute class. So if I even if I use the word class, if I use the function class and I say road underscore shape file, it still shows that it's a data frame. So it is recognizing the geometry. So if you view, so it is seeing the geometry. So you can see the geometry and you can see the attribute, which is the road name. However, it is not an SF object yet because it needs to be given a CRS, or a coordinate reference system. So that is the next step. Now, when you give the CRS, you start with WGS84, okay, because right now the coordinates are um, in lat long. So because the coordinates are in lat long, you need to give it uh, a, a geographical coordinate system, a GCS, which is 4326 or WGS84. And then what you do is you do a transformation. You force a transform, and then you give it the CRS of UTM-43N. So let's do this first. And then let us, so that's done. Okay, so when you do this st underscore sf, this is what I wanted to uh, draw your attention to. So you did in the last, when we made simple features geometry, just the geometry, we did st underscore sfc, and we did this, okay. And then what we did is we added a CRS over here, but that's not what we do. We want to convert it into a full-fledged shapefile. So we record the geometry nevertheless, bind it using a cbind.data.frame to the attribute information that we have over here. And then we use the st underscore sf function to uh, to force it as a simple features object, and we give it a CRS 4326. I don't remember if I've run this yet. I have. Okay. So now if I see class, okay, so it says it's an SF object as well as a data frame. And that is what is important. Now, what you do is, however, if you see the CRS, Okay, let's see the see all the information. The CRS we see is WGS84, and now we need to project it, or rather reproject it, into your map units or the Cartesian coordinates, so that it is able to make you're able to work with that shapefile, make calculations, distances, geometrical binary predicates, everything. Okay, so that you do by using st underscore transform function, and this is the EPSG code for your UTM-43N, and that is run. Okay, now that we have this, so if you want to plot this, obviously you'll be able to see this. Plus geom underscore sf um, data equals to root shape file. Uh, okay, we won't get into the aesthetics at this point. We just want to have a quick view of it. So here we see it. Okay, we see the longitude, latitude, and the digitized roads. Okay. Similarly, if we want to uh, do it for the hospital, now the thing is, you can create a multi-points matrix with the coordinates, okay, as we had talked about in the previous video. However, the problem is that when you use st underscore multi-point, it records it as a multi-point geometry, but we want individual points simply because we want to be able to patch it, or we want to be able to join it to the attributes. Okay, and the attribute information is right here. So I have identified 6 hospitals in my area, uh, in my vicinity, and what I did is I have, uh, sorry, I have just called them by uh, some random names. Okay, so what you do here, when you record the multi points, you take individual points. Of course, you can see over here that x and y have been interchanged. Okay, so within the st point function, so you use st underscore point, and you put in your xy values, and so on and so forth, and you just keep appending them, okay, till you reach the last point. Okay, and then that you store as a in your as a simple features column in this particular variable. So let's do that. Okay, so there we are. And of course you can plot them, but then we'll do that a little later. And of course we need to run this as well, because that's the attribute information. So I'll just write here, creating multi-point shapefile with geometry and attributes. Then of course, as we had done before, we we cbind it, we give a name as a one column name, which is hospital's names, and the other is the geometry. We say geometry equal to hospital underscore multi points. Okay, and yeah, so we'll just make the data frame first. Then what we do is we use the st underscore sf function and give it a coordinate reference system WGS84 to convert it into an SF object. Okay, and then let us also reproject it using st underscore transform. So here we are. So if you look at this, okay, we again see that we've got an attribute, which is your name, and we've got the geometry, which we can see in meters, which are the map units, okay, or x and y, and it has got the information of the coordinate reference system. So the SF object has been created. Now I want to create a reference point. So create a reference point. And how I do that is I use st underscore point. So I've just collected the lat long of a place near this intersection. And uh, I have inverted it and used underscore point and saved it as a reference point. Obviously, you need to uh, put it, make it into an SFC object. Okay, so in this particular case, I have not bothered to. So it's just a single point, so I've not bothered to make it a simple features object. The geometry is enough for us. Okay, but because we might want to plot it, you need to, you know, it needs to be in the same coordinate reference system. It's better to have it on this in the same coordinate reference system as the rest of the shape files. So here we again make it into a simple features column, and here we do an st underscore transform. Okay. So now that it is transformed, I just want to plot it. I just want to plot. Uh, I just want to plot the uh, the shapefile. Okay, of course I'll give it a text over here. The aesthetics, I make the label as road name so that I can see it. Color is gray. I do a little bit of nudge so that, you know, it shifts the position of the text. It doesn't overlap it with the point. I plot data as reference point. So I plot the reference point as well, okay, which is in red, and we plot the hospitals, okay, that we have digitized. Okay, this we will not do right now because that is after we've buffered. So that is something we'll just put on hold right now. The mouse is quite skiddy. I mean, I'm not using a mouse, I'm using a pen. So it becomes quite skiddy. So, so let's plot this and see all the features that we have uh, plotted, that we have collected so far. Okay, so here we see it. We see the road. So this I have given gray, okay, so that you can still see the road. So roads, we see the dots, okay, where the hospitals are, and we see our main reference point, okay, which is the intersection of these roads. So so assume that I live here. I mean, I don't actually live here, but we can assume that I'm located over here, okay, and I'm moving around with some kind of a GPS, trying to search for hospitals in my vicinity or within 500 meters of me. Okay, so now what you can do is that the next thing is that, you know, the goal is to create a buffer and search for hospitals within that buffer, or search for any features, any objects within that particular buffer. So obviously that I do uh, by using the st underscore buffer function in simple features. So you give the x value as your reference point, because that's the point around which I want to create a buffer. Say distance is equal to 1000, and I just run it, and I get my buffer. So now what I'll do is I'll plot it with the buffer, okay? Plus geom underscore sf data is equal to reference point. Whoops, it's not a reference point, it's buffer. Okay, buffer reference 1000, and fill equal to, so there's a fill that I can use which is transparent, so that I can see what's inside the buffer, and also say color equal to red. Okay. Okay. So the reason I'm not breaking the ggplot between two lines is because sometimes it does give a problem. It doesn't read. Okay, so here we get a buffer around this particular area. Okay, and we can see which hospitals lie within and which hospitals don't. Now, of course, with ggplot you can do a visual representation. I mean, you can visually see actually which roads intersect and which hospitals lie within a given buffer. But if you want to do it using geometrical binary predicates, one of the ways to do it is you use the predicate st underscore intersects. So how do you do that? You say st underscore intersects, or so intersection is different from intersects. Okay, this performs a set operation. This what it does, it uses geometric binary predicates on simple features geometry sets. So basically you put your x as your anything, it still performs a intersection b, right? So it's road a shapefile. Oh, I'm sorry, we wanted habit hospitals. Okay, hospital underscore sf, and we intersect it with the buffer. Okay, so what do we get here? Or let's interchange x and y. We get basically the lines that uh, so this 1111 is basically returning you a value true or false. Okay, but this is better. This basically it depends on a and see a intersection b. When you say a intersection b, so it depends what is a and what is b over here. So when you use y as this, it returns the value of what actually intersects. So if you actually look at the hospital, so it shows 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. These rows are the ones that fall within the buffer, and that you can see visually as well, right, within the buffer of 500 meters. So you need to filter these. Okay, and how do you filter this is you basically you can filter. So I filtered by name. You can also filter by row number, etc. But I just find using the attribute information a very convenient way of doing it. Okay, so what you require to basically do is you need to make sure that your library deep layer, so your deep layer is invoked, and then what you do is you filter only uh, those objects or those spatial objects that lie within that particular buffer. So in this case, you use your data in your ggplot as hospital underscore sf, which is your shapefile. Okay, then you use a pipe, so it transfers the control, and then you use filter. So we've seen this beautiful way of querying using filter, and so you say not equal to name not equal to hospital 6. So name not equal to hospital 6. These first five are the ones. So even if you just execute this particular query, okay, and this is the beauty of ggplot, that you can use these kind of queries right within it, and you get your first 5 points. So what I've done is here I have uh, I have filtered out the last one, and then I have kept the rest as is. Okay, and the buffer also as is, and we can just view these points that have been filtered, and that's it. So the sixth hospital over here is not shown, or the fifth hospital I think also has been lies somewhere or at the border, or maybe a little outside. So just shown these four. Okay, and then that is how you do it. That's how you basically use your filter and you use your geometrical binary predicates on your shapefile. But the key over here is to convert a simple features geometry column, a couple of them together that we have digitized of Google, into a shapefile. And then this workflow that I have discussed does that. Another interesting thing is that you can actually write it as an ESRI shapefile, which is one of the striking features uh, of uh, of this particular library, and also other libraries like SP. And in SF, what you do is st underscore write. Okay, that is the function that you use. Your object is obviously your hospital SF. Your DSN is your directory source network, I believe. Let me just quickly find out from help. Help st underscore write. Yeah, I think it stands for directory source network. It's DSN is, oh sorry, directory source name. I'm sorry, my bad. The directory source name. So so it's the path basically. In case of a database, you can even write it into a database for which you need to invoke the database connection. So we won't go that far, but what we'll do is that we'll give the DSN as uh, shapefiles slash hospital.shp. And in case this is already there, we use this particular argument, delete underscore dsn is true, so it helps us overwrite it in case there is a file with the same name that's available. And your driver is your ESRI shapefile, because it is stored, it will be written as an ESRI shapefile. And if you actually execute this function, okay, here. So it deleted one because I already had one. I was trying this before. So it already had the hospital.shp, and then it wrote 6 features into this particular directory for the geometry type point. And then what you can do is you can actually, okay, there we are. Shape files. So let's see where they are. Where it is? Here it is. Hospital.shp, PRJ, DBF, SHX. That usually comes, these 4 files usually come with the shapefile, right? So these have gotten, you can import it into your GIS software like QGIS, ArcGIS, etc. as well. So I think that information should help you tackle the assignment. You do the same thing for roads, okay, and or any geometrical features that you have digitized. And I hope you are able to tackle the assignment more smoothly from now on. I'll try and upload this upload this particular code on GitHub. So um, my GitHub ID is AU Navalkar. Okay, so it's github.com/AU Navalkar. So that's where the file is available, or will be available uh, in the STA 245 repository. Okay, so that's that, guys, and I hope you're able to now uh, do the assignment very smoothly from now on, and finish it in time. Okay, thank you so much and have a nice day.